Bobcats, the silent stalkers of the American wild, are suddenly showing up where we least expect. No longer confined to forests and mountains, they're increasingly prowling suburbs and even entering major urban zones. These once elusive predators are now being spotted walking along fences, across streets, and behind backyard swing sets. Their presence isn't random. It's part of a dramatic behavioral shift driven by environmental pressures and urban sprawl. Bobcats are medium-sized wildcats known for their tufted ears, short tails, and incredible stealth when hunting. Found throughout the continental US, they've long been masters of staying hidden while thriving in harsh conditions. But as cities expand and rural land shrinks, bobcats are adapting in surprising and sometimes alarming ways. Once shy and nocturnal, they are now learning to navigate neighborhoods without getting caught or even noticed. In Southern California, residents are recording bobcats leaping fences or lounging on patio furniture in broad daylight. One bobcat was recently spotted strolling beside a playground while children played just yards away, unnoticed. These sightings are becoming more common in Los Angeles suburbs like Glendale, Burbank, and Thousand Oaks every year. Their increasing presence raises real questions about human-wildlife conflict and the changing boundaries of the wild. Across Arizona, especially in the Phoenix metro area, bobcats are now part of the urban landscape's living thread. They use dry canal beds, storm drains, and greenbelts as wildlife corridors that run through residential sprawl. Many homeowners find bobcats perched on garden walls, drinking from pools, or stalking birds near backyard feeders. Though captivating to see, these moments reveal a deeper story about how urbanization is pushing animals closer. In Florida, bobcats are moving into mangrove-lined communities, weaving between condos, canals, and suburban cul-de-sacs at night. Development in the Everglades and across coastal ecosystems has left native predators with fewer undisturbed areas to roam. As a result, bobcats are using human-altered landscapes as new hunting grounds for rodents, lizards, and birds. And with feral cats and poultry often left outside, they sometimes find more food near people than in nature. In Texas, bobcats have become regular visitors in Dallas, Houston, and Austin, even showing up on college campuses. Trail cameras have caught them roaming parks, resting beneath porches, and hunting squirrels beside busy walking paths. In some cases, they've been blamed for killing small dogs or cats that were left outdoors overnight. Wildlife biologists say this behavior isn't abnormal. It's bobcats doing what they've always done, just closer to humans. But why are bobcats choosing our neighborhoods when wildlands still exist beyond the suburbs and city limits? The answer lies in opportunity. Cities offer easy meals, warm hiding spots, and surprisingly few natural threats. Rodents are abundant, domestic chickens are vulnerable, and trash attracts the smaller prey bobcats naturally pursue. These adaptable carnivores are taking advantage of an ecosystem we've accidentally created right in our own backyards. Most bobcats remain elusive, moving under the cover of darkness and disappearing before anyone sees them. But security cameras, trail cams, and motion-activated lights have revealed how frequently they move through residential zones. Many homeowners are shocked to learn bobcats regularly cross their yards even if they've never seen one directly. Their silence, agility, and camouflage allow them to thrive in places that would overwhelm other wild predators. Still, their growing presence does pose challenges, especially as they become more confident near populated environments. Pet owners in urban edge communities are being warned to keep small animals indoors, especially after sunset. Chickens should be kept in secure coops, and food should never be left out to attract scavengers. Officials stress that while bobcats aren't targeting humans, they will attack if cornered or if offspring are threatened. In some states, like Colorado and Nevada, public education campaigns are underway to teach people about bobcat behavior. These programs help citizens recognize signs of bobcat activity and implement simple deterrents to prevent close encounters. Things like motion sensor lighting, noise deterrents, and fencing can often reduce bobcat visits without harming the animal. The goal is coexistence, not conflict, and that starts with understanding how these animals survive in a changing world. Bobcats also bring risks of disease, particularly to pets who may share outdoor areas or come into contact. They can carry ticks, fleas, and potentially transmit feline diseases like bobcat fever or toxoplasmosis to domestic cats. Though rare, such transmissions highlight the need for vigilance when wild predators start overlapping with household pets. Regular vet care, parasite control, and supervised outdoor time help reduce these risks for pet owners in hot zones. Ecologically speaking, bobcats play an important role in controlling rodent populations in cities and suburban environments. By preying on rabbits, rats, and other small mammals, they help manage pests that damage gardens or spread disease. In some cases, their presence is seen as beneficial natural pest control that requires no traps or poisons. Yet when bobcats become too comfortable around people, the line between benefit and danger starts to blur quickly. Historically, bobcats were hunted and trapped for their fur, with populations falling sharply during the 19th and 20th centuries. But hunting restrictions, conservation efforts, and regulated fur markets allowed many populations to rebound over recent decades. Now that numbers have recovered in many regions, bobcats are once again expanding their range, this time into cities. This expansion shows both the success of conservation and the complexity of sharing space with resurgent wildlife. Some states allow limited bobcat hunting, though it remains controversial and heavily regulated to protect sustainable populations. Others rely on non-lethal methods to manage bobcat presence near urban zones, prioritizing public education over eradication. The conversation about how to handle bobcats mirrors larger debates about wildlife management in an urbanizing world. As cities grow into once wild spaces, we're forced to rethink where wilderness ends and civilization truly begins. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. Some communities have installed wildlife crossings, while others focus on aggressive trapping or relocation. However, relocation doesn't always work. Bobcats often return or die trying to establish territory in unknown environments. Experts argue that long-term coexistence is more effective than removal, especially when backed by public involvement and science. Teaching residents how to live responsibly around predators is quickly becoming a necessity rather than an optional skill. Bobcats are changing, evolving, and learning to live among us in ways we never expected before. They've crossed the boundary between forest and city and are now part of America's new suburban wildlife. While they rarely mean harm, their presence challenges our ideas of safety, control, and the limits of nature. They are no longer just shadows in the wild, they're silent observers in the margins of our modern lives. So the next time your dog barks at night or a shadow moves through your backyard trees, take a closer look. You might just be witnessing one of America's most successful predators adapting to the human-dominated world. The bobcat is watching, learning, and walking silently among us, and it may be here to stay.